I want to give you a review about what it's been like to use ProRes Raw in my workflow as a documentary filmmaker. I'm going to talk about my experience with the codec, shooting with ProRes Raw, and editing with ProRes Raw. I'm a documentary filmmaker, and I believe that stories can make change happen. But I also believe that the way we tell stories is just as important as the story itself. And for me, the way I tell my stories is I don't want to compromise on quality, but I also don't want something that's going to interrupt my storytelling. And that's why I really like the S1H and the Ninja V shooting ProRes Raw. So I've actually been using ProRes Raw for several years now. Back in 2018, ProRes Raw came to the DJI Inspire 2. ProRes Raw in the field is a high-end, reliable, and professional codec. Whether I'm working on my own documentaries or working for a client, I know I'm delivering the very best in quality and flexibility using ProRes Raw. I simply love using it. That's probably a biased opinion, but I have been using it for several years. It is a codec that holds up, it's reliable, and I always know that I'm getting the very best out of my camera when using it. When shooting for this project, I've had to be able to adapt in the moment and focus on the framing of my story. I don't have time to finesse the exposure. I look first at my brightest highlights and expose to them, knowing with confidence that the footage and data is all there, that I will be able to color correct that footage perfectly in post. I can go in between shooting a commercial for a client in a studio to shooting a documentary in the desert. I'm not sure I can find a better rig as a documentary filmmaker than the Panasonic S1H paired with a Ninja V shooting ProRes Raw. I get a stabilized sensor, dual ISO, 6K resolution, and ProRes Raw. That's phenomenal. Plus, 60 frames in 4K, and all the different crop modes and formats that the S1H offers. It really is a beast of a camera, and it's rugged. I can take it anywhere, in any environment, and I'm not worried about my gear. It's gonna hold up with me. I was inside of businesses, working with other people, and I needed to be discreet. But also when I was on the airplane, flying to the Navajo Nation, weight was a big deal. I couldn't take a massive camera with a massive lens with all the accessories. I needed just the core rig, and that was really easy to do, and I didn't feel like I was compromising. And I could get a lot out of the lenses that I chose to bring with me as well, because again, I could use the full frame sensor, but I could also crop into 4K and use the Super 35 portion of the sensor. You know, it's like as if I just changed lenses by just changing the sensor settings. It gives me confidence that I can rely on my camera and I can focus on the story. That's really, really cool. It's hard to overstate how well it works. Editing with ProRes Raw, this is where the video codec really sings. This is where you're seeing the benefits of why you shot in that codec. One, the quality is fantastic. This isn't compressed. You're getting amazing detail. Like every single time I bring footage back and I load it onto my computer, I'm always astounded by, whoa, that looks really good. Performance is critical. I need to be able to work fast. I need to be able to focus on editing, not solving technical issues. I can throw everything at it. I can put multiple layers, multiple streams of video. I can cut, move things around, and I haven't dropped a frame yet. I can match any camera, literally. And it gives me flexibility in what kind of color, what kind of mood do I want for my scene. I've never seen that in any other RAW codec, because every other RAW codec is proprietary. It's important for me to have a camera that, in a way that I fall in love with it. I need to be able to trust it. I need to be able to think it's beautiful. And I know that sounds a little weird, but I need to have a certain relationship with my camera in order to tell my story best. And I have found that I keep coming back to the S1H.
Oh yeah.
It has the ergonomics that I want, the ruggedness that I want. It has the performance and quality that I need.